Guys, I've emceed over 100 weddings in my career, all right? We're going to talk about it. The do's, the don'ts, the etiquette, the bullshit, the drama, and of course, what you don't know until you do it, the fucking price. Did you know that the average wedding cost is $80,000? Now, if you Google it, it's going to tell you that it's $25,000. I spent that much on flowers. Did you know how much flowers costed? I didn't know that when you get married that you have to come up with a theme, right? And you have to figure out what it's going to be, how it's going to look. Gatsby theme. I want elegance. I want nothing but the best. I want class, timeless, golds, reds, color schemes, all of it. And you got to figure out what that is, and then you get a designer involved. You got to tell florists. You got to tell everybody, what's the vibe? What are we trying to do here? And you start seeing the price point. When we went wedding shopping for vendors and stuff, I had no idea. I was like, the only thing that matters to me in weddings, food and music, because that's the only thing that you take home from weddings. My wife, her dress and florals, and then food. Did you know that the average flowers for a wedding, centerpieces, what the average person spends about 100 and 150 person wedding is about 15 grand? I thought it was like 3 grand. She's like, what's your budget? I went to this florist. I was like, 2,500, 3 grand. She was like, this isn't a funeral. I was like, are they spending 3 grand at funerals? Yeah. I thought you could do fake flowers because they have these like fake, what do you call those things? Blossom trees. What are those Japanese blossoms? I think that's what it is. Cherry blossom trees. Big ass pink ones. I'm like, oh, that looks so beautiful. It's nice. They throw the petals around. So it gives you the illusion that it's real. I had no fucking idea. I was like, oh yeah, it's all gonna be fake. They're like, first of all, we grow them in our fucking greenhouse, and then we import the seeds from Peru, and then other stuff like orchids only come from here. And if you want fucking cacti, which no one does, I can't remember, you want angel's breath, you're gonna have to make sure you get them all from the same place, and so that they actually can gel together. Because if you put them in the same water and the same chemicals in there, sometimes they could react negatively. So you really have to source it. And then me and my mother, who has arthritis, put them in the same fucking stupid bin and make sure that it gels together to really come off as elegance. It's messy, but it's tight, it's elegant, it's clean. Fuck you. $15,000. I'm done. This podcast is brought to you by OneBone. OneBone.com/I'm done. Use the code FT-I'm done. All right? 100% off, free shirt and tote bag on me. Your first OneBone's on me. Own your fit. That's their new slogan. OneBone is the best. This is a OneBone. It's my favorite shirt. It's the Michael short sleeve, limited edition burgundy shirt. Come on, huh? It's great. I love it. This is the only place that you get a free shirt and a tote bag from OneBone, courtesy of me. And if you're a listener of the podcast, if you go anywhere else online, you might get a free shirt on OneBone. They're doing a little promotion, but you don't get the tote. You want the tote. You go shopping. You go to the beach. You're going to go to the beach with a food basics bag? No, you're not. You're going to go with a OneBone bag. Woo! Anyways, I'm going to tell you guys about the worst wedding I've ever been to in my life. As an MC, this is what happens. You are responsible for keeping the night going. You got to keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. And you got to make sure that there's no dead air. There's no lulls. People doing speeches have never spoken live in their life. Got to warm up the crowd, keep it going. And a lot of times there's a wedding planner. Sometimes there's not. And when there's not, the MC's job is a fucking nightmare because it's me in the kitchen being like, are we ready? Are we not ready? We got to go. We got to make it happen. So I went to this wedding. You know what's going through my head right now? No, it wasn't my producer's wedding, but that was also had its fair share of stuff. All weddings do. There's drama with every wedding. And there's drama with the family, drama with guests, pre-drama, at the wedding drama, and post-drama. And I got a story for all of them. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. So the worst wedding I went to, the listeners are listening. I already know, and I know they're going to listen to this and go, that was fucking mine. Oh, well, bro, should have put in more cash. So this is what happened. It's in a tent on a tennis court, all right? In a backyard, in the middle of nowhere. I show up, all right? This is, I'm already just freaking out that I'm going to say this because they're listening. It was terrible. Plastic forks and knives, paper plates. The caterer came at 10 p.m. Dinner was at 6. Mark's the MC. Mark is doing every joke he's ever written in his life in the middle of the dance floor, waiting for the fucking caterers to show up. Best part is there's a fight happening between the groom and the bride's brother, who's a friend of mine. He is basically putting out all these hors d'oeuvres because in the farmhouse that this property's on, there's an oven. So the bride was like, we'll just do it all ourselves. Never do it yourself for fucking anything. You're delusional. You want to look pretty, not sweat, take photos, right? I'll do it myself. So what's going to happen? Your brother's not going to let you cook fucking beef patties and fucking spring rolls and like, you know those party pack mixes you get from like President's Choice where it comes with like every culture's appetizer, dumpling, and you just put it in the oven and you're like, hey, whatever. She had those frozen. My buddy had to go in the house, make them all, and he's drenched. The guy's in a fucking suit in a farmhouse using an oven the size of a fucking little, toaster oven, making appetizers for everybody. Absolute disaster. As he's doing that, I'm getting him to come back inside because I'm like, hey man, get to the tent. I got to introduce the bride and groom. Everyone's been sitting here, empty stomach, hammered. It's 7:00. We got to introduce the bride and groom. So at least there's a full room of people and we can at least start to party and drink and be on the dance floor while we wait for this food disaster. The bride and groom are standing outside of the tent. Everybody can hear them, okay? This guy's a massive dude and he likes to smoke blunts. Not hating on the blunts. He has a daughter and kids, and they were walking out with him. And he was like, I refuse to walk into the hall unless I smoke a blunt. And I was like, okay, well, you should have smoked this blunt 15 times by now. You've been standing here for an hour. What have you been doing? And then he snaps, I'm not fucking entering until I smoke this fucking blunt. Everybody in the hall turns and hears that. What does he do? Fuck this. Sparks the blunt and just stands there at the entrance staring at everybody. And his daughter is standing right there in a dress being like, let's go in, daddy, let's have fun. Shut the fuck up. Smoking this blunt. When I say blunt, I don't mean a pinner. I don't mean a little fingerling. This guy had a fucking cock. Basically like a nice fat cigar blunt of weed. The whole hall now smells like weed. You want to do that? That's fine. That's not a problem. Timing though. You know what I mean? Like you should have done this at 4:00. It's 7. We get into the fucking hall. The caterers are on the phone with me because the bride has snapped. She goes, call the fucking caterers. They got, it was basically like a fucking, what do you call that stuff? Fusion. It was fusion food. So the chefs are like Jamaican and, oh God, I think it's Hawaiian or something. What's that fusion? Is it Hakka food? Okay, that's what it was. I call this guy, big Jamaican dude, and I'm like, hey man, the bride's waiting for you. And he goes, the wedding's tomorrow. And I'm like, the wedding is now. I'm right here. I'm here. He's like, the wedding's tomorrow. I have the deposit for it. It's in my calendar. I've got text messages. And this guy's sending me screenshots of every conversation they've had where the date is for tomorrow. So he's not wrong. And I'm like, brother, I have 150 people in a fucking tent that smells like weed and the groom's having a meltdown and he just wants to eat. Can you just make it happen now? He's like, I need 2 hours. I'm going to fast forward to my favorite part of this whole thing. The food comes. I'm setting it up. I'm in a 3-piece suit. My buddy's setting it up, also in a suit. We're dripping. There's steaks. Everyone's wearing plastic forks and knives. All you start hearing is tsh, 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 tsh. What's that sound? What's that sound? Magic, magic. What's that sound? It's people's plastic forks and knives snapping on the steaks. No one can eat. People are picking up the steaks and eating it by hand and tearing it because the fucking cutlery doesn't work. So this is what I'm telling you. The point of this story is if you're going to have a wedding and you're going to invite people on their fucking Canadian summer Saturday, because those are so fucking precious, fucking spend the money and make it happen. Put in some money and effort. You need a planner and you need people that are going to take care of the run of show. I need a fucking Spro. Give me that Spro, baby. Fuck's sakes. This is a nice, beautiful espresso. Espresso keeps me level, keeps me sane, keeps me going. Guys, I got a lot of shows coming up. North American dates. I got my American visa coming in. I'm doing my first theater tour across Canada and in the US. You'll see it on my Instagram, so on and so forth. Every show before that, we'll be prepping for the tour. I'll be working on material. You'll see weekly posts on my Instagram on where I'm going to be. I've got Windsor dates, London dates, Bradford, Southern Ontario dates right now. So stay tuned. We're back. We're fired up. Let me get to my wedding here. Because my wedding, I put in a lot of money and effort. Not going to lie to you. My wedding cost $90,000. That's what it was. I'm furious about it. I'm still upset that it cost that much. Would I change it for the world? Absolutely not. I also got married twice. That's a long story. It's a disaster. We had a COVID wedding. So we got married via City Hall because we were like, no, we were supposed to get married on this date. We're pushing it back a year, but I don't give a fuck. So we get the paperwork. And my Italian family's like, yeah, but you got married. We got to do something. That something turned into like a miniature wedding with immediate family at a fucking golf course illegally, and did it over Zoom. I didn't invite anybody because to me it wasn't my fucking wedding, and all my friends are still upset at me to this day because they're like, what do you mean we didn't want to come? And I was like, why would you want to see? I'm like, buddy, it's like a $40 suit that I'm wearing that I rented. Like, I didn't even know this was happening till a fucking week ago because my mother and mother-in-law are insane. Anyways, let's cut to my real wedding, right? COVID restrictions, COVID rules. I had to chop my guest list from 220 to 150, right? That's a lot of people that I have to cut out. Family's furious. Seating plans are problems. Where my uncle sits was an issue. He was like, I need to be with my kids. I need to be with my cousins. I have to make sure that I'm fucking in the right place to have a good time. Exactly. So he could be next to his fucking car too. My uncle's a sweater. As you can see, he runs in the fucking family. My uncle's one of those guys, he won't wear a tie and he keeps his shirt untucked because he's a fucking shooter. And he wears 3 shirts. He goes through 3-4 shirts. He coat checked 3 shirts at my fucking weddings. At my wedding. At both weddings, actually, to be honest with you. Fucking insane. So endless drama. I spent all this fucking money and I was like, the food is the most important thing. I buy the chef a fucking, what was it? A $600 bottle of bourbon. I'm like, listen, I've never spent this much money on a bottle in my life. We're making a custom menu. I'm not doing this Western Road, fucking Woodbridge, red pasta, white pasta, chicken piccata. Go fuck yourself. I don't want rubber chicken. To me, it was very important. A lot of people know me as the food guy, so I had to hold that up. That was my only deal. So what happens at my wedding, the food is off the charts. It's gourmet shit. Got an antipasto bar that's the size of this fucking room. It's not a big room. It was bigger than the room. Cheese is imported. A fucking guy on the fucking prosciutto slicer. Duck hearts on his fucking skewer. Every animal was dead at my fucking wedding, buddy. I stared at a guy. Late night station porchetta. Not just the fucking middle of it. The whole thing. The fucking pig was like, ah. And I was like, fucking cut it off. You know what I mean?
Gravy's good tonight.
It was great. I loved it. It was unbelievable. I had a blast. I wouldn't change it for the world. But let me tell you what happened. One of my uncles is a lunatic, right? I had to give the golf course a photo of his face and his car because he wanted to crash it. He wanted to crash it. What's his name? I can't tell you, but I will tell you. But he's fucking nuts. The front gates of this golf course had a fucking photo. And I was like, brother, do not let this guy in. He's a liability. He's going to ruin the whole fucking wedding. That's how crazy some of my family members are. So I thought I took care of it. You know, you try to limit all the wedding drama. You're like, fuck this, man. I'm going to make sure that lunatics don't show up. I'm going to make sure that everyone's so jammed that they can't move. And if not, they're drunk as fuck and can't do shit. Everything should be fine. I spent all this money. I got a wedding planner. I fucking made sure that the people who don't eat fucking basil can have their bullshit red pasta. I customized everybody's dish so that everyone's going to enjoy what they're fucking eating. You don't like lamb? Well, then you got fucking something else. I had lamb 4 ways was my main course for me. And some other people, fuck you. You can have your salmon, you loser, because you like dried salmon. Fuck off. So next day, after the wedding, me and my wife, we're sitting in a hotel room. We're counting our boostas. Believe me, I'll get to that. That's the biggest nonsense in wedding history ever. I get an email from the golf course. Hey, Mark, thanks. It was awesome. We love you guys. And me and my wife used to work at this golf course, so we know them all personally. We're like, no, thank you guys. You went over and above. They're like, yeah, slight problem. Please see attached security camera footage. Who's on that footage, do you think, guys? Is it me? Is it someone on my family because I have lunatic Italian relatives? No, it's my wife's family. We didn't see that coming. My wife has a lunatic cousin who's in the Canadian military. What does the Canadian military do? Do they fight crime? They just drink Budweiser. They don't do anything. They go on beer runs and fuck the dog, right? I didn't know that, but now I know. So I get the security footage. Now, let me just take you to a precursor. I should have noticed this at the wedding. At the wedding, he disappears for like an hour. We have no idea where this fucking guy is. And he starts putting people in headlocks. He's hammered. He's trying to get behind the bar. He's like, you guys pour fucking light shots. Fuck off. Let me pour the shots. Then he's like 6'5", fucking 250, just a tank. Canadian military, right? He's in great shape. And he's very aggressive, like Italian aggressive, like someone beat him as a kid aggressive. He's behind the bar. He's fucking pushing bartenders. They can't handle him. I'm trying to be like, hey, buddy, calm down. My grandfather, my fucking nonno, 86 years old, goes, come on, would you relax a little bit? Come on, you're going a little crazy. Come on. He fucking puts him in a headlock. He goes, no, shut the fuck up. Come on, take a shot. Scrubs his head. You're scrubbing a nonno's head, you disrespectful bastard? Are you kidding? Like, if you do that in Italy, you just disappear. No one ever sees you again. They put you in a pit. Like, you're done, right? This guy does that to my nonno. My dad almost fought this guy, okay? And there was mud all over his back. I'm like, what happened to this fucking idiot? Cut to the fucking footage. Me and my wife are in bed. I'm like, check out this email. I fucking screen share it to the Samsung Smart TV. Unpaid partnership right now. And we play it. What happens? This guy breaks into the stairwell. All you see is black and white footage. You see the door going like, boom, breaks through. He's in the stairwell. He's looking around. He starts sprinting downstairs, cuts to a new camera, down another flight of stairs. He starts fucking ripping at this door. Door won't fucking open. He fucking kicks it and rips it open. Cuts to another camera. He's in the pro shop. Right? The golf pro shop. He's making a mess of it. He finds another door. Boom. Cuts to another camera. He's in the pro shop garage. He rips open this garage. He jumps in a golf cart. He gets in this golf cart. There's bins. You know, there's some golf carts that have like a little flatbed pickup truck behind it, almost like a little flatbed thing with these big tote bins full of Pro V1 golf balls. Pro V1 golf balls. You know how expensive those are? Extremely. He fucking starts reversing. The best part is he looks into the camera and goes, fuck you, guns it, starts slamming into the garage door over and over again. He gets out, he fucking hits the button, the garage door opens, he guns it out. This guy starts fucking doing donuts on the 18th green. This course had the Canadian Open. Do you know how expensive the fucking 18th green is? He's doing donuts on it. Then he fucking skids in front of this little pond, picks up the fucking Pro V1s, and just starts dumping the buckets into the 18th green. Dumps one into the lake, drives the car, flips it. He fucking smashes his head on the fucking thing, leaves the car there, and comes back in and proceeds to put my grandfather in a headlock. Can you fucking believe this shit? So the venue goes, hey, Mark, here's your settlement for the whole thing. Come and settle up. Take as long as you need. And also, here's another settlement that you're going to need to pay because you have lunatics in your family. You know how much it was? It was $9,000. $9,000 of damages. And they said, that's because you're a friend. And I was like, I can only fucking imagine. You ready for this? I call my wife's father, who is his uncle. I'm like, hey, I'm going to kill this man. Here's the footage. Deal with it. Either you're paying for it because it's your side of the family, or fucking he's paying for it. I don't think you should pay for it because he's a loser. He's like, I'll take care of it. His sister, AKA this guy's mom, goes, what? He was having fun. Italians make me sick. Like, come on. Like, he just had a little fun. Who gives a shit? It's a golf course. Isn't it their job to clean up after us? What are you, crazy? Yeah, to clean up after us in the banquet hall. No one's golfing at 2 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? Absolutely insane. I'm fucking sweating. I need a water break. It's happening. We're going to get into the Busta culture here. Because my wife and I were in bed and we're ripping open the Bustas. Now, we all know this. Everyone has people in their life that they invite to weddings. Some people don't know about how much wedding costs. And I'm conflicted with Bustas in general. On one hand, it's like, weddings cost a lot of money. You should try to find out how much plate costs and try to give however much that is so that the person throwing the wedding doesn't lose money on you. Yes, sure. But that's very European/Italian culture. On the other side, because, you know, Italians have fucking books of like my mom was like, oh, I'm inviting these people because I went to all their kids' wedding and give them all $300 a plate for me and your dad. So they're going to come back and they better give this amount because it's logged. Like, that's how serious the Busta game is. On the other side, it's like, I'm throwing this wedding. If I'm inviting you, I want you to come. You give what you can. You don't have to give anything. So like, I'm kind of torn because on one side, it's like, I am throwing this party, but like, don't come empty-handed. Give me something. It would be great if you understood how weddings work so that I don't fucking lose money, right? On the other side, it's also like, dude, there's a reason why I didn't invite any of my comedy buddies. They're fucking cheap. They have no idea. My comedy buddies would have given me nothing and just would have shown up. Is that why I didn't invite them? No, because I had fucking COVID rules. They would have been there if it was the fucking 250 people. But, you know, when you start cutting, you're like, am I going to invite the guy who's going to give me an envelope that's empty? No, right? So these factors weigh in. So depending on which side that you fall on, try and find out. I had buddies that called me being like, hey, how much are the plates? And I was like, hey, bro, it's this much. So do what you will. Some people gave me more. Some people gave me less. What really pisses me off, bro, is when you are Italian and you're in the immediate family and you purposefully, because you have no choice. When you give nothing, I'm like, what are you, like, have you never thrown an event? Like, where can you go, eat like that, drink like that, get entertained like that? And then, like, if you're going downtown, it's a $500 night, right? So, like, you know, if you're going out all the time and you're fucking, you know, bottle service and you're fucking bitches and doing all that shit and you're eating at a nice restaurant, you're going to pay a lot. So if you're viewing this way the same thing, you should kind of, you know, act accordingly. I had one of my uncles, bro. This guy's a fucking, he's going to listen to this, whatever. He just is a moron. And I love him to death. But I was like, hey, man, you've thrown parties. I lost so much money on you. And like, you're lucky that there's some family members that like basically just give you your inheritance ahead of time and you make up for the people that don't do that. But, you know, it's crazy. What side do you guys fall on with Bustas? Should you find out how much plate costs and cover it? Or should you fucking just be like, hey man, fuck you. It's your party. I can do whatever I want. I'm torn. Morally, I am fucking torn. What is the biggest gouge in history, though, which I really think is more of a Vaughan, Woodbridge, fucking, I don't know. I don't even know where this shit started, but I think it's, I don't know. I don't even know where it originated. I got to find out. I'm sweating. Get the one bone sweat rag. They don't sell sweat rags. It's just another shirt. Come on. I took a shirt. I cut it into strips. I make it a sweat towel. That's how many shirts I got from one bone. Okay. Stags. You like them, you hate them. Let me tell you right now, I hate stags. If you do a stag, you're a fucking idiot. You're just gouging your friends. A lot of things, stags are basically made. There's stags and does. Some people call them something else. I can't remember the other name. What do like munja cakes call fucking stags that are like in the middle of nowhere? I can't remember. But anyways, Jack and Jill's. Yes, that's a big one. So a lot of the time, stags are to just have a party with the people you're not going to invite to the wedding because you're like, hey man, I like you. I want you to come, but like, You got to understand it's expensive, the logistics. I got to invite my mother's cousin's daughter's son's dad who used to be married into the family and who's not because my parents gave them money, so they got to give me money now. That's why you're not invited. Like, you know, this person hasn't seen me since I was 2, but I see you all the time and I can't invite you because my dad just says that you won't give me a boost, so I got to invite you to the stag. And the stag is just, we're going to hire sluts. Sorry, ladies. We're going to hire sluts or beautiful... That's what it says. We're gonna hire beautiful women and hostesses to dress up in lingerie and hand out drink tickets, 50-50s, raffles, blah, 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 so that you can come there and win a Raptors jersey, win 2 free tickets to TFC because they're a fucking good team, fucking worst organization in history next to the Leafs. Oh, come on. I love them both. I go to the games all the time. How much is a beer? $18. Go fuck yourself. Anyways, stags are just meant to fucking bleed people. I'm really against those. I don't think you should have them. It's basically to appease the people that you're not inviting and fund the wedding itself. Similar to a baby shower, but I feel like everyone understands how expensive and hard parenting is and having a kid and all that kind of stuff. And it's also like, it's your next of kin. It's the family bloodline. It's just the biggest thing that you could possibly do. Whereas like a stag, it's like, okay, bro, you're choosing to have a wedding that's $100,000. That's on you. Don't fucking call me over here to have a toonie toss to win a fucking Italia soccer jersey that you bought from Prince Bomagnetti that's fucking fake. That was $30, but I just spent $80 in fucking toonies and got it closest to the Jack Daniels bottles that I don't even fucking win because my fat buddy who's an alcoholic stole it, aka Jord. I'm fucking throwing my buddy Jordan under the bus in every episode. I don't give a fuck. Anyways. Don't do it. I fucking can't stand them. And to be honest, you let me know. Are you for stags? Are you into that shit? Is that what you do? Let me know in the fucking comments. Would you do your wedding the same if you could? Yes. Yes, I would. I would do my wedding the exact same way. I wouldn't do a first wedding. I wish I didn't have it in COVID. I wish I could have invited certain people and disinvited other people. But a lot of the wedding is not for you. That's what you need to understand. Especially in Italian culture, the wedding is for the family. It's for the family to get money back that they've put out. And it's just for them to celebrate that one of their kids is getting married. It's not your event, dude. If you really, really want it to be your event, you have to pay for all of it, or you're going to get into so many fucking arguments because, you know, there's a tradition in a lot of families where like you pay for the plates. So your parents will be like, hey, we're going to cover the hall's food expense. And if your in-laws match that, we're good. So then what do? They say, oh, well, bro, if I'm pitching in on this, I'm going to tell you who's coming. Like my dad goes, listen, son, I think that my work friends should come. I think you should cut a few of these straggler buddies of yours. Some of these comedy friends are like these guys that, you know, you create videos with. Like, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. I'm going to bring my buddy Max. Like, he's got to come. Like, you know, he's one of my good work buddies. You know, we do a lot of business together. Like, I think my boss should come. And I'm like, I don't even know what these guys look like. But my dad's like, they got to be there, bro. They have to be there. Why? Because I'm pitching in. Fuck you. I would do it the same way. Mandatory rule for weddings. You need a wedding planner. As an MC who has become the wedding planner in the moment, you have no choice. You have to have a wedding planner. They're going to deal with all your vendors because guess what, guys? Vendors are basically half-stoned fucking people that don't really want to do their jobs. Weddings are just the moneymaker. For example, you're a photographer. Was it your dream to wake up and shoot a bride in the morning going like, no, it wasn't. Is it your dream to shoot a fucking ring sitting on a gold dish in your in-laws' house that smells like mothballs? No. So what is it? It's a money-making event. It's like doing corporates in comedy. You don't want to do it, but it pays the fucking bills. So you need someone to be on top of those motherfuckers to make sure that they're at your house at 7 a.m. and you're already in a suit, you're sweating, and your dad's feeding you shots at 7:30, being like, I'm not going to make the day. And then you're like, where's the photographer? And because the bus is going to be here at this time, and I don't even know who's driving the bus. What's the number for the bus? Someone get the number for the bus. Your mom's like, I need to get my shoes on. My bra broke. You know what I mean? Like, my mom walked out of the house. Hilarious. This is the fattest thing ever. My mom walks out of the house. Her fucking shoe just goes. Her shoe was like, you're too big. It's done. You know what I mean? And it just exploded. I love my mom to death, but that's what happened. We had to fucking staple gun her fucking shoe strap and heel together. It was insane. It's fucked. Wedding planner, make sure you have it. They deal with the vendors. They're a fucking nightmare. This podcast is brought to you by OneBone. Go to onebone.com/I'm done. Use the code FT-I'm done. Get your first OneBone and tote bag for free on me. It's fantastic. Can't get that deal anywhere else. It's my favorite brand. That's all I'm going to say. What would you do? Have you had a wedding? Do you do weddings? Are you in the game? Is there something? If you're a vendor, put something in the comments being like, you know what? I wish all bride and grooms understood this. You know, if you're a mom or dad and has thrown fucking 6 weddings for your kids, tell us. Air out your grievances. Wedding planner. And spend the fucking money. If you're going to have a wedding, just do it big. Go all out. I had a fucking band. I went all out. I wouldn't change it for the world. What I would change is how much I spent on flowers. You know why? No one gave a fuck. It looks so beautiful. I had, on my head table, I had 6 arrangements. I could have had 3. Why did I need 6? You could, in some of the photos, like, I look like George of the fucking Jungle. Like, I'm hidden behind greenery. It's beautiful. But why? We could do less. So you got to limit your expectations. This is the fucked up part about weddings. Everybody has a vision for what the wedding should be. Your mom has a vision for her son's first wedding. The mother of the bride, same thing. Dads, there's like all the immediate family involved has a vision for what your wedding should be. And you have no idea. You're like, I don't know. I want to look good and eat good food and have good music. And your mom's like, what kind of food are you gonna, what kind of pasta are you gonna have? Because if it's anything but rigatoni, I'm gonna disown you. You're like, what do you think? What? Who? Like, you know what I mean? It's my wedding. Why can't I choose? Fuck you. You don't know what you're doing. No one understands what you're doing. That's what weddings are good for. I will say this: weddings help the relationship grow apart from the families that they came from, because you basically have to branch off from your family and create your own family. That's what you're doing. And the only way to create a successful own family is by literally telling both your families to go fuck themselves and saying, bitch, we're riding solo now. And you have no choice, because if you let your old families in your new family, you're done. I'm fucking done. I'm still doing it. I'm still fucking being like, would you back the fuck up, please? I can't wait, bro. I'm going to get my American visa and fucking move in Arizona. I'm done. Thanks for listening, boys.